Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Richie Scott. We're back with another video. I want to thank you so much for tuning into the channel. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell button so you can be alerted to every time we drop new content here on this channel. Now, I want to go ahead and get into what we're going to be talking about today, and that's the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12. As you guys know, they are currently knee-deep into filming with another cast trip expected to be coming up shortly. And we're also expecting to see a trailer coming up in October. I know that's a little bit around the corner, but you know, something for you guys to look forward to. But in the meantime, we've got the tea on exactly what's been going on with some of the ladies, and it's quite interesting today. So we're going to be talking about Kenya and Tanya, and then we're going to be talking a little bit about Nene. So just stick around for everything that we've got to say in this regard. Okay, first things first, we've got to talk about Kenya and Tanya. So last week, we actually brought to you guys a video message that Kenya had done on Instagram Live or Instagram Story, and our good friends over at Housewives of ATL caught it, and here's what she had to say.
You don't bother anybody, you befriend them, and then they stab you in the back the first chance they get over some nonsense. Just either to make a name for themselves or to get some street cred. You know how it is when when they say in the prison culture, and to get some street cred, you just go up to the biggest guy in the yard and punch him in the face, basically. I feel like some people try to do that just so they can, you know, like I said, make a name for themselves. It's crazy, right?
Okay, so at the time, we were hearing that it involved an altercation with her and Eva, right? So we know that her and Eva were kind of going at it at the beginning of the season, but what I've heard lately is that the two of them have actually mended fences for the time being, and that Kenya was not necessarily referring to her. New reports are surfacing that Kenya was actually talking about Tanya Sam, which is very, very interesting because, as you guys know, Tanya Sam is very relaxed, laid back, non-confrontational. So let's get into everything that the news outlets are actually reporting about the two of them. Now, they are saying that Tanya was trying to put hands on Kenya more. Now, for some reason, I doubt that part of it, but I do think that things could have gotten a little bit heated. They're saying that one person close to production said that Kenya and Tanya got into a little argument. It wasn't anything serious, just a few jabs being sent back and forth. And then Kenya allegedly threw a bunch of low blows at Tanya. And then the insider said that Kenya started getting personal, talking about how Tanya's boyfriend will never marry her. And she said that Tanya should have her eggs frozen. Now it's too late for her to have a kid. So then the insider stated that Kenya went from being shady to being really cruel, and Tanya tried to put hands on her. Now, Tanya, who was usually calm and collected, allegedly flew into a rage and tried to fight. Luckily for all involved, security was there to stop her from hurting Kenya. And so this outlet is basically saying that, you know, Kenya was really referring to Tanya when this whole situation happened. And I'm also seeing a lot of chatter on the blogs indicating as such as well. So, you know, a lot of times I look at media takeout with a grain of salt. I mean, I really get into it for the fun of it, but I also look at it like, is this really true? Because sometimes it seems sensationalized. However, we do love that site, and just for the sense that they're giving us something, some little bit of tidbit as to what we can expect. And then there are a lot of other blogs out there that are actually hinting at the same thing. So it really remains to be seen who she was actually referring to. I'm really shocked that it's Tanya at this point, but I'm kind of not. You know, Kenya often has a tendency to sort of test out the new girls. I mean, look what she did with Kim Fields back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I feel like at a lot of times these new girls have to earn their paycheck. You know what I'm saying? They gotta like earn their stripes in this group. And in order to do that, sometimes you gotta face off with one or two of the biggest and baddest in the group. And that always is Kenya Moore. She's always gonna be one of the biggest and baddest, chicks in the Atlanta crew. So it's interesting that, she set her sights on Tanya, or maybe Tanya set her sights on her, because according to Kenya Moore, this person actually turned around on her. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see. I will say that Tanya will need to make an impact if she's going to hold a peach this season. So, she's going to have conflict with someone. She can't just stay out of the fray and expect to be, a long-standing cast member on the show, because at the end of the day, we all know that Housewives is based around a little bit of conflict, a little bit of shade, a lot of fun, trips, all that good stuff. So we shall see exactly what is to come of this, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you think that Tanya would really be likely to try to put hands on anybody? I mean, I don't really see that, but I do know that Tanya is in a good place with Nene once again. So that's good to see. And I was hoping that they would be able to mend the relationship, because honestly, their beef didn't seem to be that big of a deal. It seemed like more of misunderstanding. And now that we know a little bit more about what Nene was going through, we are a little bit more understanding of, why she might have reacted to some of the things that why she may have reacted to some of the things in the way she reacted to them. We're getting a little bit more information about that as time trickles on as well, because what we are learning is that according to Hollywood Life, she was actually depressed while she was filming the last season. So here is what Hollywood Life basically had to say, and this is them quoting Nene. They're saying that being a caretaker and doing something like caring for someone with cancer for the first time in my life, and then having to be the breadwinner for everything, that's a lot. The overseer of everything in our life. It was a lot of pressure, and it really did feel like depression. I really don't know what depression is, but I was speaking to my OBGYN, and I was telling her a lot about how I feel, and she said, I think you're going through a depression. And I really didn't know what a depression felt like except for what anyone said. Then she went on to say that she learned about depression, its symptoms, and treatments before getting on medicine. Now the reality TV personality and her husband are better than ever. The couple went to marriage counseling where they worked through their issue, and Nene recently lost 12 pounds. Now, let's get into it. First of all, I want you guys to comment below if you have ever been through a depression before, or if you ever think that you've exhibited the symptoms of depression, because I know a lot of times you want to be kind of like diagnosed with depression before you actually just run around saying that you have it. If you have been depressed before, I want to know down in the comments what you did to get over it, how it made you interact with other people, and if you think that what she was going through was indeed a depression. Looking back at the season now, I can sort of see where this could be something that, especially based on her breakdown the day of the closet situation. Looking back, she seemed rather testy, especially with Tanya in Japan, but I think that certain things now make a lot more sense in light of this admission, right? So it probably explains a lot more why she might have been so easily upset by certain things that happened with Cynthia, with Porsha. I think that at the time, if she was going through a depression, I think that causes you to react a lot more sensitively to things that are actually going on, and maybe not in the most reasonable or rational way. Doesn't that make sense? Because for me, I feel like, I don't know if necessarily what I went through was depression, but I definitely felt like I've had periods in my own life where I felt like I might be going through something like that. And I know that it's something that creeps up on you and you don't really know when it's happening or why it's happening. I think what happens is that you notice that your thoughts are just on a downward sort of spiral. And for a long time, I feel like you don't really know exactly why you feel how you feel and why you feel so low and why you feel like the world is ending. But it's not usually until much later that you sort of realize that, hey, I might be depressed. So for me, listening to this, it really does sort of open my mind to, wow, like maybe this was taking more of a toll on her than she really expected. And I think that especially when you add filming, like with cameras, like 5 to 10 extra people around you every day, capturing your every move, that's very difficult. And for me, at least when I was filming for Bravo, I felt like the longer I was in the filming process, the shorter my patience became. Not because they were doing anything wrong, it was just the fact that because of what I was filming, for me, I was not able to sleep very well because for a long time into filming, I was sleeping on the floor because I was filming a show that has your possessions taken for 21 days, where you give up your possessions for 21 days. And you get one thing back every day and you try to see how you live. So I get it. I get the fact that, you know, while you're filming, it's a heightened sense of everything. And I think a lot of times when you guys see something on television, well, we all see it on TV, and we try to figure out, why is this person reacting so harshly to this? This a lot of times is the reason why, because you're knee deep into filming. You've been doing it for a while. You're tired. You are, you know, trying to look your best. I mean, it's a really arduous process. So maybe last season wasn't the best season for her to film, but at the end of the day, if it helped raise awareness about cancer, I'm actually here for it. And I think what she did was actually really brave. But you guys let me know down in the comments, do you think that this sort of excuses her, some of her behavior at the end of last season? Because I know that a lot of you guys think that, you know, she was definitely way too harsh in a lot of regards. Let me know what you guys think about this. If you've ever been through depression yourself, let me know how you handled it, or if you're still going through it. I think it's something that a lot of us need to talk about and get out there anyway, because it can be a very silent and deadly situation. So make sure you guys comment below. Let me know your thoughts on both of these stories. Do you think that Tanya really went off? Do you think that she actually tried to lay hands on Kanye? I don't know about that one, but you know, I guess we'll have to see when we get the first trailer dropping. So you guys make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button, and also be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Scott. And guess what, guys? I will see you in the next video.